What's up, boys? Callsign Grimey here. Welcome to my walkthrough of the Shadowreapers Dynamic Campaign PvE Multiplayer Server for DCS. This server has seen what I would call a meteoric rise over the last few months or so in popularity, and it's justified. I think that this is a very interesting, engaging multiplayer experience, and the goal for this video is to help someone new to the server understand it and be able to operate in it in a very fast and efficient way, because when you first come into it, it can be very, very overwhelming. So let's jump straight into it and start right here. This, once you pick your coalition side, you're going to pick blue side for this. Now we get into the map and picking your aircraft. What I want to start with first, and what I really enjoy about the server, is that they do have the new dynamic slots enabled in here. So what that does is it allows you to pick your airfield either from the list here, or what I like to do is kind of look on the map to see where I'm closest to the action. And say for today, I'm learning to fly the A-10, so I'm going to try and find an airfield. So we'll scroll into here. We'll look for an airfield. There's an airfield right here. If we click on the airfield with the new dynamic slots situation, it will pop up. And oh, look, A-10 is right there. I've got armament already pre-selected that I can choose. And more importantly, spawning hot checkbox. This is fantastic. And at this point, for any multiplayer server to not have this functionality enabled to make our lives a more convenient, you're doing us a disservice. Please enable it. Please just do it. This just helps for those of us who like me are in a time crunch. We don't have hours to fly. We have 30, maybe an hour, and we want to maximize the time flying and fighting, not cold starting. That being said, rant over. Once we select our aircraft, we will then spawn right in with it ready to go, running hot, and we can fly. I'm going to hold off on that for 1 second so I can walk you through what this looks like. Now, they support the Caucasus map, which is very, very popular. I happen to be on the serial one for today. And there's also an 80s era, I believe I saw as well. So if you want to go back into like a time period zone, they do have support for an 80s time period. But more or less, the way it works is going to be the same across all the maps and whatnot. So let's kind of talk about it. So you'll see here, all the blue is friendly allied forces. These are bases that we've taken control of. You'll see all of the red, and these are bases and just kind of other points throughout the map that are held by enemy forces that we need to attack. Now, what's really cool about this is that when you pick your aircraft, they tailor the missions to the aircraft so that there's always something for you to do, and there's, more importantly, always something that your aircraft is designed to do. And that makes it really easy to pick from a list of missions to complete. You can do your standard cast, you can do bombing of targets and deep strikes. Everything's up for grabs. It's at your fingertips, literally, and I'll show you how to work that in a second here, but I just want to show you the rest of this, and you'll start working your way into these different points to attack various objectives. And the way that it's implemented here, and I'm going to show you, it's really creative, and I think it sets itself up to be a lot of fun if you have the right people on in the server while you're in there, or if you and a couple of your friends join it, you guys can co-op it all and fly the same missions, earn XP, rank up, and use those points in the server to further help your missions, like calling in cap support and such. You have to rank up some points to be able to call in these other support assets and all that. So this is what the map's going to look like as the allied forces keep overtaking bases. You'll start turning them into blue, and you'll work your way all the way down until you complete it and the mission's over. It resets. Some of the bigger bases, like the main airfields, are going to have like informational boxes here, like for Soha here, it says personnel. Looks like there's a 4. Morale's at 38%. So these guys have been working this target pretty hard, and if they continue to do it, it's going to flip. All right, and that's kind of like the gist of it. You keep working it down until you've knocked out all the missions within this area, and then boom, it'll end up essentially being flipped, and the AI will kind of push back. So, you'll randomly hear call outs in game for alerts that enemy forces are trying to retake a certain place that you just captured or whatever. So, yeah, it keeps you on your toes and gives you a lot of options to do a lot of different things. So now that I kind of give you a brief overview of like how, what you're looking at here on the main map menu and the F10 menu, how to select your aircraft and all of that. Let's go ahead and jump into the aircraft, and I'll walk you through like selecting your missions and everything else with that. So let's go to the airbase right here and do HAR. We'll click it. We're going to spawn again in the A10. I'm learning the A10. Let's jump into it. Now let's go ahead and pull up the comms menu here, and we're going to go ahead and pause our track IR to hold it in frame right there, so we got a little contrast. You guys can see what's going on in the top right corner right there. All right, so we're going to go to F10 other, and we're going to hit F1. It's highlighted here, available missions. Once we do that, we're going to get a pop-up of all of the missions that they have for us in this aircraft, the A10, for example, right now. If you're in the Apache, you're going to see some other missions that are more orientated towards helicopters. If you're in a jet, you get the idea. So for us, we have quite a few different things, quite a few close air support missions, strike missions. I think there's some seed missions mixed in there, deep strike. It's got a wider range of stuff in here. For us, though, what better mission to do in the A10 than a CAS mission? So it looks like there's one right here. It says CAS, destroy 4 armored vehicles in Bravo. Now there's a code right here, 1411. We're going to pull up, to accept this, we're going to pull up the in-game chat, and we're going to do a /J, as in join, /J, and we're going to enter that code. I just forgot what it was, so excuse me. Let me pull the menu back up. And we'll go to available missions again. And where was that at? Bravo, here it is, 1411. So we'll do /J 1411, and we'll just enter.
For this mission, your waypoint is 60. Make the necessary heading adjustments.
All right, cool. So it told us that our waypoint is 60. We've got 4 units to kill. It gives us coordinates if we need coordinates, but everything. What's really cool about this mission as well, or the server, is that everything is also pre-programmed into the aircraft. So here we are on the HUD. We'll censor select interest here on the HUD, and we will then, if you look right here, we're going to change our waypoints. It's all formatted into the aircraft. Every aircraft has all of these mission points in it already, so it cuts down on your time from having to do the meticulous little things to be able to get into the action, which I think are just the little sweet touches of it all that make these servers, multiplayer servers, more conducive for people's times, because not everybody has all day to fly a 2-hour mission, so they said it was waypoint 60, so we'll go up to 60. There it is right there. So that's waypoint 60. Also, since we are in the A10, we need to put on steer points so we get the right heading, which boom, that gives us the right heading right there. Perfect. So there it is. We are about 55 miles out, which isn't terribly far. That's another thing I like about it, is that a lot of these missions aren't super far away where you spend more time flying than you do in the action. It seems, I think they really hit a sweet spot where having things just far enough where you got to fly a little bit, you got to do your nav, but not so much that you're just, autopilot, and you're just like reading a book until you get closer to your objective. You know what I mean? So at this point, we've selected a mission. Now, if you have a friend that wants to come in and fly that mission with you, they can. They're going to need a code though. So what you'll do here is we'll go back into the text chat, type /C in chat for the current mission pop up, and it'll give you all this information. Now, if someone wants to join your mission, you have to give them the code. In this case, our code right here, the join code is 4534. So if a friend comes in, or if you befriend somebody in the server while you're flying, you say you found another A10 pilot, you got another Viper pilot, and they want to join in, you would give them that code. They would then join it with the same /J for join, and use that code that you have for your mission so they can attach themselves to it. What's cool about these missions is that when you do it, you're gaining XP for completing them, and it levels you up within the server. It gives you access to call-in reinforcements. You have to earn tokens. So they've got this XP system in there. So there is more value in completing these missions, so that you can get rewarded in server to do more things and such. I covered the basics. I mean, that's everything you need to know as far as the basics for the server. So hopefully that helps you have a better understanding of kind of how to navigate it all, what to do, how to do it. The rest And we're going to fly this mission ourselves right now, and we're going to kind of go through it and see how this all turns out. Now, mind you, I am learning the A10, so by no means am I super proficient in it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to botch some stuff up. I'm going to screw some stuff up, but that's fine, right? It's part of the learning process. The idea here is that we are going to try and demonstrate here how this works from start to finish in the Shadowreapers server right here, which is really, really cool. Now, this server, I will say, is hosted overseas in the EU. So for those of us stateside, your mileage may vary in terms of experience. But what I can say is I've had no noticeable issues with lagging or anything like that. Frame rate's been pretty decent, above 60, and you know, obviously when I'm away from more people, it'll climb back up to 100 plus. Now, all of this is going to vary depending on the kind of aircraft that you have, so keep that in mind. All right, we'll full throttle up. And once we take off, we are heading straight in front of us, so I don't have to go too far away. And we'll get ourselves spun up here. And let's go ahead and turn up our radio systems here, our RWRs, can hear that a little bit. This thing is like a brick. 150, you're gonna pull back. Wheels up. Start turning in. Guys, I want to encourage you all that watch my videos, when you're in multiplayer, say something on the mic. Don't worry about the terminology. Don't feel insecure if you don't, if you don't know what a tally is or this term or that term. Go in there and just call it out. Hey, got a bad guy at my 2 o'clock, 10 miles out or whatever. It's not that serious in the multiplayer servers. But I just want to encourage you all to definitely speak up. You have more fun. You have more fun that way, interacting with other folks. All right, we are 38 miles out. Still climbing slowly but surely. This aircraft, it is probably one of the quietest ones in terms of engines that I've flown in. I don't have every module. I have most of the U.S. Aircraft. Still a couple more I gotta buy, but it is fairly quiet. But I was thinking to myself that this thing is pretty annoying when it comes to the radar warnings and such. And then it made me think about this question, which I'm going to ask you all right now. Please leave a comment down below in the video. Which aircraft is the most annoying in all of DCS? Is it the A10, this constant beeping and popping, or is it the Harrier with Bitch and Betty? Oh, it's a close call for me, boys. Which one is it for you? Let me know down below if you made it this far into the video, which I do appreciate. If you made it this far, then go ahead and like, subscribe, all right? All right, we are about 20 miles out. Let's see if we can't get this teapot slewed over to our, where's it at? Well, that's not working right. Why is it not slewing over? All right, we'll just manually move over. And what are we looking at? Are we looking for 4 armored tanks, I believe is what we had to do. It doesn't quite look like, oh, what's that right there? There's a pod right there. What's shooting at me? Oh, there's somebody out here over me. We might get shot at, I think. Yep, we're about to get blown up.
Autopilot.
We're about to go down. We're about to go down. We're gonna go down. I see the smoke trails. I don't know, we're gonna evade this. I'm just kicking out every flare. Yeah, we're out. You know. You just hate to experience it. It's, just you fly to a location and there's just no air support and you get shot down like a dog. All right. Well, That's the video, because I'm just not gonna redo that. I'm so fed up with that. This is probably like my 8th time trying to record this video, because that has happened literally 7 times before that. Can't get into the area because the enemy air just comes in thick, and there's not enough players doing cap to keep them off you, so you're kind of stuck, you know. At least you walk away from this video knowing how to get in here, understand it, pick missions, and do it, and the rest is on you. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Callsign Grimey out.